I'm here with Gracie. Sit. Gracie, sit. I'm here with Gracie. Strawberries are her favorite food, one of them. And I went strawberry picking this morning, so I thought I would share some of my bounty with Gracie, who is very excited. You ready? Oh, and it went off the railing. Here, Grace. You just missed two. You had one job, Gracie. Here. Oh, the saddest strawberry is the one that falls off the deck. Luckily for Gracie, we have 4 more. Are you ready for this? Sit. No, you have to sit. You want a few more? You ready for this? Look at that focus. Have a bite. That's a big one. Can you just bite it? Oh, you're gonna take the whole thing. Okay. Sit. Can you speak? No, sit. Sit. Speak. Oh, don't drop it. One more. Are you so happy? Look at that tail wag. Are you so happy? Did you even chew that, Gracie? Did you chew any of them? All done. Where did the other 2 go? Oh, I see them down there. Oh. Hello, welcome to the Knit Shift episode number 51. My name is Laura and today is Sunday, April 24th, 2016. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my podcast. And if you are coming back, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Again, I really appreciate it. I apologize for my absence last week. I had plans to record and life just kind of got in the way, and I was celebrating the end of tax season. You know, a little over a week ago was April 15th, and my boyfriend is in the process of changing fields, and he is studying accounting and has an internship and has been working 60, 70 hours a week. And last weekend, I was just so happy to have some time with him and putter around the house and cook him dinner, and I just never got to recording, so I'm sorry for that. And I don't think I posted about it on Ravelry. Normally I try to mention it, so sorry. Enough apologizing. But I'm back this week and I've got a lot to talk about. But first, you can find me on the web at theknitshift.com. That's where show notes can be found. I am on Ravelry as Yarnstormer, where we have a group for the podcast. If you search for The Knit Shift, you'll find us. And I'm on Instagram as Laura Mahalski. And after many months of debate with myself, I decided to make my account public. I had kept it private for a really long time just because I am in a kind of public profession, and my account name is my name. I am Laura Mahalski, so I had just kept it kind of locked down, and I just recently kind of decided, so it's open, it's public. Please follow me if you haven't. And yeah, so enough babbling about my where I can be found on the web. Today I have for you a lot of random things. I have, and this episode is on YouTube and iTunes, and please do subscribe on either platform if you haven't. So this episode I have a very new work in progress that is quite special to me. I do have some new yarns, and I have some spinning. I know, hard to believe if you've been watching this podcast for any amount of time. Sorry, I got a leg cramp and I was sitting cross-legged and I needed to unfold myself. I have some yarns, I have spinning, and I have just a little bit of chatter about what I've been up to lately, if that kind of thing interests you. And by the way, I hope you enjoyed my intro feeding my dog strawberries. That was kind of fun. She loves them. So I've got some odds and ends of videos I've taken lately to add some stuff to the podcast. So that'll be at the very end if that's your thing. And if it's not, you can just shut me off earlier. So let's get to the knitting. I have no finished knits. It's been 2 weeks since I last recorded, but I've really been devoting my attention to a new work in progress, which I will show you in just a minute. But first, just water today, no, not even tea. I hope you guys like this new setup. I have started to record in the afternoons and evenings because sitting here as opposed to a right angle from here, which is where I have filmed for many months, the lighting is just better here in the afternoon to have the sun coming through the windows on the other side of the camera. So I hope the lighting works for you guys. So I have an old work in progress to show you. This is my project for the Knit Shift Knit Along going on right now. I'm calling it the Friend Along because it's meant to be inspired by a friend. It could be yarn that you purchase with a friend. It could be a gift for a friend that you're making. The yarn that you're knitting could be a gift from a friend. Any way you want to make it apply, it's totally up to you. And we have had a good number of finished objects in the FO thread already. And the podcast, or the Knit Along, has only been going on for, gosh, it's the 24th, so 3 weeks. So kudos, guys, on knocking out those whips. So I am knitting the Out of Darkness Shawl by Sylvia Bobilvia, and it's a paid for pattern, and it calls for 2 skeins of sock yarn or about 800 yards of fingering weight yarn. So it's an asymmetrical shawl, and I am using yarn that I dyed myself. I don't sell yarn or anything, it's just something I dyed in a class. So let's see. I don't remember where I was last time when I showed this to you, but I know I've made some progress because this garter ridge is where I was as of Saturday, and I knit on all of this during a knitting date with some friends. So I have made some progress. So you can see that this is, I started up here in this corner, and it's really just a stockinette asymmetrical triangle with random garter ridges thrown in. It's a very simple pattern, very mindless, and I am alternating skeins because I have 2 skeins of sock yarn, and I'm a new dyer, so I wanted to alternate the skeins to ensure the speckles were really random. And you can see it's mostly pink, and there are blips of black, well, it's more gray than black, and purple, and just a little purple and blue and green, and I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I love the speckles. I love the varying degrees of pinkness they have. I love the blips of shots of purple and blue. I'm really pleased with this, so I think this will be really fun. And I think it'll be really big when all is said and done. So yeah. And I am using, let me see what needle size these are. These are 3.75 millimeter or US 5, so I'm really happy with this. And by the way, I am using a bag that I purchased at Forever 21. It's just got a sweet little deer print on it, and the deer is wearing a flower crown. So there you have it. The other whip is something you have not seen before. Are you going to come up, Gracie, and say hi? Come on up. Hi. Maybe you can sit next to me instead of standing on me. How about that? Why don't you sit right there? Good job, Bubba. So the next thing I have to show you is a brand new work in progress. No, you can't sit here now. The yarn is on my lap. Sorry, Bubs. Yeah, you can sit right there. So I am carrying this in this was called, I think, a fortune cookie bag. I bought this at a yarn store in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, but the person that made it no longer makes these bags, but I really like it. It's got the nice polka dot inside, and I really love the stitching there with the little flowers. Really cool. So these are a pair of 2x2 ribbed socks that I am knitting 2 at a time. And you can see they are toe up, and I have done the heel and I'm on the leg of the sock. This yarn is Lydia Sock yarn. Lydia stands for Luxury Yarn Dyed in America. And it is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon, 460 yards. And you can see, and the colorway is Snorkel, and you can see that it is pale, like kind of a tonal pale blue, and then there are blips of kind of a yellowy green and navy blue in there. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm knitting these on a size 0, which I believe is 2 millimeter, and they look really tiny, I know, but I promise that they are really stretchy once you stretch it out. So I'm really happy with the stitch definition that I am getting with a size 0. I started these with about 32 stitches on each toe and increased every third round to 68 stitches total, 34 on, I'm doing these magic loops, so I had 34 on the front and 34 on the back. And then I did 2x2 ribbing just on the top of the foot. Of course, the bottom is just plain stockinette. There's a beauty shot right there of what it looks like in stockinette. And I decided to do a gusset and heel turn, or gusset, heel turn, and heel flap. And there you can see the gusset and the heel flap, and it's a slip stitch heel, so it's nice and sturdy. And the way I do my toe up gusset and heel flap is something that I adopted from a book by Wendy Knits, who has written several sock books. So I don't feel comfortable sharing my instructions for a gusset necessarily because I didn't come up with it. I took it from a book that I borrowed from the library. But I do recommend Wendy Johnson's Socks from the Toe Up because I basically co-opted one of her patterns, gussets, and heel turns for a toe up gusset and heel turn. And these do take some time, you know. The Fish Lips Kiss heel is really fast, and I can do both heels. If I'm knitting socks 2 at a time, I can do the Fish Lips Kiss heel on both socks within an hour or 2, whereas it took me over the span of a couple days to do the gusset increases, and then do one heel turn, and then do the other heel turn, and then do the heel flap on the first sock and the heel flap on the second. So it does take time, but I think it's worth it for me, and I think for a lot of people this heel fits them best. Oops, I'm dropping my yarn. I did not mention who these are for. These are a gift. I won't say for who yet because you will learn in due time, just to be mysterious, I guess. And they are smaller than my foot size, but they will be a very special pair of socks, I hope. And I feel pressure to make these good socks. And there was one more thing I was going to say. Darn if I can't remember it now, but you will learn who these socks are for. Oh, I know what it was. This fits my goal of knitting for people for whom I have never knitted before, so stay tuned. I'm very optimistic that I can, now that I'm on the leg of the socks, you know, just by an inch or so, I'm very optimistic that I can get these done in the next week or 2 because this is a deadline project. So those are my only works in progress that I have knitted on this week. I do have at this point 3 or 4 languishing works in progress, and I kind of want to have an episode soon where I basically air my dirty laundry and air all of my whips, and hopefully that will shame me into working on them. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. So what is next for you guys? Oh, a few more details about the knit along going on. The details are in our Rav group. It goes through at least the end of May, and I do have at least one prize to share with you right now. It is a copy of a pattern from a viewer of the podcast, Caroline, who is Quilter Caroline on Ravelry, and it's a lovely shawl called Seeds of Change. So thank you so much, Caroline. That was very generous of you. So that's one prize, and I do have a yarn prize in progress, so stay tuned for that. But I welcome prize donations or suggestions of what you think I should track down as a prize, so let me know. And we do have an Instagram hashtag, and it is hashtag TKSFriendAlong. And you can always use TKSKAL for the Knit Shift Knit Along, and then I can stalk everyone's projects. So that brings us to, I'll do spinning next instead of stash enhancement. So my last episode 2 weeks ago, I spoke about having the strong desire to spin again. As background, I got a spindle in April, a year, about really probably a year or 13 months ago. And my friends Kate and Amanda showed me at Maryland Sheep and Wool. They gave me some lessons, and I did not stick with it, and I was frustrated by my lack of skill. So cut to recently, and I really felt the itch to pick it up again. So I got the book out. I got the book out of the library called Respect the Spindle, along with a few others, and it's very helpful. I can see why so many people recommend it. It's by Abby Francomont. I think it's Francomont. Oh, maybe I should check it because it's right here. Here it is, Respect the Spindle by Abby Francomont. Gracie, come here. The dog is puttering in the kitchen, and I feel like she's up to no good. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you being a stinker? So, yes. So I have a very modest fiber stash because I got really excited about it, and I probably have 5 or 6 or 7 braids of fiber in my stash, even though I'm not a spinner. Where are you? Oh, here it is. So I am using fiber from a store, from a business that Kate recommended. And Kate is Kate of the Stitch Addiction podcast, if you do not know it. It's lovely. And I'm not just saying that because she's my friend. It's a good podcast. So she recommended I turn to Wool Gatherings, which is an Etsy shop. They have fiber in bulk if you are a new spinner. And so this is mixed BFL 8 ounces. And there's their website. And boy, this is a lot of fiber. But you can see how pretty it is. I'm sorry it's in a bag, but it's really lovely. And I have to say, I am very much enjoying spinning with it. Now, after all my talk a couple weeks ago, I have to say I did not stick with it practicing every day. I really wanted to practice every day, but life got in the way, work got in the way, and I haven't touched the spindle in about 2 weeks. So this is my Rouge Lucette, which is made out of Jatoba or Hatoba Red Heart wood. My mom got this for me at a festival in Ohio, and I think it's just really pretty. And here is my spinning. You can see it's not the most even in the world, but I am quite happy with how it's been going. I really think it's pretty. I've been trying to go, I'm just trying to be consistent, and I'm much more consistent than I was a year ago, so I really need to pick this back up. I've been doing park and draft, which is kind of a very slow, methodical way to spin, so yeah. So hopefully showing you guys this progress will spur me on to practicing some more. So that's all I have for spinning, and that brings us to stash enhancement, aka yarns. The first thing I have to show you, yes, there are two bits of yarns to share with you. The first thing I purchased is a skein of yarn from Amanda over at Lammy Toes, and that's the Amanda I just mentioned. And this is her Moon Pie Merino base, and it's the colorway Experiment 71. And she showed this on her recent episode of her podcast, which is called Not a Podcast. And it really is a hard color to capture, but it's even more electric green than it's coming across. It kind of matches my shirt, I suppose, in a way. But it's a really vibrant minty green. It's greener than it's showing up here on my laptop. And there you can see there are stripes, or not stripes, but just blips of yellow and white and fuchsia speckles, and it's just really, really pretty. And I love this base so much. This is 75/25 superwash merino nylon, about 463 yards, and it's just so soft. I really love it. So I love, love, love Amanda's yarn. It's just so pretty, you guys. You need to go check out her Etsy shop because it's gorgeous. This will probably end up being a pair of socks. My next bit of yarns to share with you comes with a disclaimer of explicit content. So I apologize in advance if cursing offends you, but it is unavoidable with this next project, with this next bit of stash enhancement. So I was browsing Instagram, which is kind of my stress relief at night. I misplaced the card that was with this wool. Oh well. I was browsing Instagram late at night for stress relief, and I saw that the Etsy, I don't even know if it's Etsy. I don't think it is. Someone I follow had done, sorry about the barking. Someone I follow had done an update like 2 minutes earlier, and they were sock blanks with dirty words on them. And I had to have one. I've never used a sock blank. I've never bought a sock blank. And there was something about these sock blanks that I thought was really fun and just a really creative idea. So this is from Black Market Wool, and it got here so fast. I ordered it, and I think it was here maybe 2 days later, maybe 3. So again, avert your eyes if you do not care for cursing. But this colorway is called I Am a Unicorn. How awesome is that? I picked this. There were other, this was, this is the only one. This is the only unicorn colorway. And, I won't mention the other ones, but they're pretty fantastic. So you can check her out on Instagram. Her Instagram is BLK Market Wool, I believe. And I'll link to her in the show notes. But I liked this one especially because the color difference between the background and the lettering is really severe, and I just think that's going to make for some really fun stuff. And if you're not familiar with a sock blank, it's basically knitted fabric, and you knit directly from it. So it'll be kind of crinkly like ramen noodles while you knit from it, but it washes out. It blocks out when you wash the socks. So I might have to cast this on soon. I think it's really fun. And I think muggles, non-knitters, when I share, I can't wait to share a photo of this on like Facebook and see what people have to say about it who don't knit, because I think they're just going to think it's really insane. I really do. So I like to blow people's minds when it comes to knitting, and I think this is going to be really fun. And I bought this over a week ago, and then on Wednesday, was it, that Prince died? Wednesday or Thursday. And I feel like in honor of Prince, he loved purple. And Prince was a unicorn in the music world. He was just so special and fantastic and magical that this might be my honorary Prince, my Prince memorial knitting. So, yeah, I'm very excited about this. Very excited about this sock blank. So, again, apologies if the lettering offends you. I just thought it was pretty awesome. So, okay, so that brings us to odds and ends. If you watched a couple weeks ago, I said I was in a bit of a funk. Josh, my boyfriend, my partner, whatever you want to call him, he is changing careers, and he was a journalist like me. He designed pages and did graphical stuff, and is going back for his undergrad degree, which he never got, and he is doing fantastic, and I'm so proud of him. And it's just, we just don't see each other these days. He's been working really long hours because of tax season, and it's not just because of April 15th. March 15th was a big deadline for another aspect of it. So I've just been a little lonely and kind of sad, but after April 15th, he's been around a lot more, which is fantastic. He's been able to come home at 3 or 4 o'clock some days. I'm at work like 2 to 10, so it's really not that big a deal because we don't see it. But just knowing that he's at home and is not working 15 hours a day is wonderful. So last weekend we really enjoyed ourselves and went out to dinner together, which was really nice. We went to a fancy restaurant to celebrate the end of tax season. I was able to cook us dinner a couple times, which was great. And I just have had a couple really nice weeks. I did not have a lot of commitments before work. I went strawberry picking. Virginia Beach is known for its strawberries, and strawberry season always starts mid to late April, and this year is no different. So I picked strawberries, and I picked about 12 pounds. It was $1.99 a pound, which is nice and cheap. And I brought most of them into work to share with colleagues, which everyone loved, so that was fun. But I might go picking again because I had such a nice time, and the weather was so lovely that I might just go back. A week ago tomorrow, I ran some errands, and then I drove to the boardwalk at the ocean front, and I sat on the boardwalk and knit for a little bit at Virginia Beach, which was lovely. And I had a knitting date with my friends, yesterday. Gosh, it feels like a lot longer ago. We had some really big news break out Friday, and I ended up working about 11 hours Friday and 12 hours yesterday. And I was very, very grateful for my knitting date Saturday morning because it was like my only moment of respite in a very, very long day. So, and today I went, Sunday mornings, Josh and I tend to go for nice walks with the dogs. So we did that today. It's about 65 degrees and gorgeous out. So I'm just really enjoying my weekend after the week I've had. So that's kind of what I've been up to lately. I do have a recipe to share that I made that I will link to in the show notes. I made dinner for Josh and me from the website Skinny Taste, which is a wonderful website for healthy recipes. I made beef and a chini de pepe soup, and it's basically you brown ground beef and add some onions and carrots and celery. Then you add crushed or crushed tomatoes or canned whole tomatoes, and beef broth, and you kind of let it cook for an hour and a half, and then you add teeny tiny pasta, and I used a chini de pepe, what I had left of a box of that, and then I also used teeny tiny spaghetti noodles that were pre-cut. I forget what the Italian name was on the box, but it's basically long spaghetti noodles, but probably cut up into 6 or 7 pieces for you. So that was really, really delicious, and that ended up being leftovers several nights this week. So I'll link to that recipe in the show notes, but I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to, and I do have some video of the past few days, past couple weeks to share with you that I will insert here at the end. So I guess that is everything. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon. Bye!